Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be testing and reviewing MUA foundation. Now I picked this foundation up at Superdrug and it's a complete steal because this foundation is £3. And this is the little beauty right here. So this is their Skin Define and it's a matte finish. And I got this in the shade Ivory Flush. Now on the back it has got lots of good stuff in it. So let me just read you the description. So it's a soft and smooth foundation formulated with vitamins A and E and jojoba to create the perfect flawless matte complexion, shine control that lasts all day. That's a big statement. So I'm going to be testing this out for you just to see if it goes on the skin nice, if it applies well, if it blends out well, also if it lasts on the skin, and just in general what our thoughts are, especially because this is so affordable. So I want to see if it's any good. So if you guys want to see what this is going to be like, keep on watching. Okay guys, so we're back. Hair is tied back, ready to go. Mirror to the ready. So I'm going to be using an angled stippling brush because I just feel a stippling brush is good for just blending in the foundation. I'll obviously then be using a beauty blender just to again blend it further into the skin. So let's just open this up. So when you open it up, this is what it looks like. So you get a little pump with it, which is amazing. I love foundations that have pumps. So I'm going to just go for 2 pumps to start with and we'll see if we need more. So I'm just 1, 2. So quite a thick consistency right there. So I'm just dabbing the brush into that foundation and I'm just going to pop that on the skin. You'll have to excuse the noise outside. Someone is strimming. Obviously it's a lovely day here, so time to get the grass cut. So what I will say off the bat, it's blending in really nice. It does feel a little more sticky. Like I use the L'Oreal True Match, so it's a lot stickier than that foundation, but not an unpleasant sticky. Hey guys, I am really sorry about this noise. He was right under the window and it was getting louder and louder, and I even had the window shut, so my apologies. Like I said, it's going on reasonably well. I'm not having to do overly much to it at the moment. What I will say that I've noticed is when you put it on, if you leave it on the skin, it is oxidizing. So that is quite quick off the mark, but it's not looking actually overly bad at the minute. I think I am going to need the 3 pumps. So I would say this would be medium coverage, which I like also, especially if you're going for just a really natural day-to-day look and you don't want to look too cakey, then a medium foundation is just ideal. So just looking at it up close, let me see. Yeah, that's blending in, no problem. It's not sitting on top of the skin, which is good. And it feels nice on the skin, very lightweight, doesn't feel heavy at all. But I think I am just going to top up with just another little bit. So I'm going to just do another 1 scoosh. So I'm just going to do the tiniest amount as well. I don't think I'll need much more because I don't want to look too heavy anyhow. I think if I remember right, this was the lightest shade, I'm sure. Either this is the lightest or the second lightest. And not a bad selection of shades. They don't have as many shades as other foundations do. I think when I went in today, there was maybe 6 to 7 shades, which isn't bad, but it's not the biggest range, obviously, out there. But yeah, I'm liking how it's looking so far. It's not looking cakey, it's not looking heavy, it's not looking bad actually. Now what I'm going to do is just stop with the blending of the brush, and I'm just going to then take the beauty blender and I'm just going to really go to town with that, just pushing the foundation into the skin. Okay, now let's just take a closer look. That's really nice. It's blended in really well. So yeah, got a little bit here. So yeah, it's not sitting on top of the skin, which is ideal. It's blended in really well. And so far the shade's okay. Like I said, it was, when you put it on, it is true to shade when you put it on the skin, but I did notice that it started to change as it was sitting. So yeah, it does oxidize in my opinion, but I don't know if you guys can see. It's not looking bad at all. It's actually blended into the skin no problem, and like I said, it feels a really nice lightweight foundation, very very thick consistency. So I did have to work a little bit harder than I would have done with my L'Oreal True Match, but again, that's no huge issue for me. It's all about how it wears on the skin and how it feels on the skin for me. So what I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm going to go and apply the rest of my makeup, and I'll be back with you to show you how it looks with a full face. Okay guys, so we're back, full makeup on. I went for a really deep glam gothic look, so blacks and reds and whatnot, but the foundation is holding up okay at the minute. It has oxidized slightly, it's a little darker than it was when we first started, but again, it's still wearable for me. I mean, it's not too much of a contrast. As you can see, there is a slight bit of difference over here, but yeah, all in all, so far it's okay. I would say I would still definitely, for me, go for my L'Oreal True Match. I just feel the consistency is a little thicker than I normally like, and it is oxidizing ever so slightly. As far as cracking or anything, I don't have any of that yet. I do have creasing up here, but that is a normal for me. I normally do with any foundation or concealer. I always crease under my eyes. It's just inevitable. I'm just going to take a closer look and see. It is doing okay at the minute. Like I said, my only problem area is under my eye, but that is definitely normal for me. So at the minute, I am happy. Would I use this every day? Probably not. Only because I just like the consistency better of the True Match rather than the MUA. But as far as it going on the skin, I didn't have an issue with it. It blended in really, really nice. And like I said, the colour is nice. It is just oxidizing ever so slightly. What is happening here? That didn't happen. So yeah, for me, it's just went a little darker than I would like, but it's not a major issue. So what I'm going to do is, let me just pop this palette here. So so the time is 3:01. So I'm going to give it a few hours just to wear and see how it is on the skin, and then I'm going to come back and let you guys see, and we'll check from there what it's like. So yeah, see you soon. Okay guys, we're back for our check-in. I've had something to eat in a cuppa, and we are now at 7:05, so that's just over 4 hours with the foundation on. And I have to say, it's worn really, really well. There's not been any real problem with the foundation at all. What I will say though is there's a bit of shininess on my chin, I don't know if you could pick that up on camera, and definitely around the nose area as well. I've got a bit of shininess, but there is no cracking on the foundation. It's settled into the skin amazingly. I am pretty impressed with this foundation for being £3, to be fair. What I will say though, in the downfall part, is it did oxidize, so with a result it's went slightly darker than what I would need it. As you could probably tell between how pale I am here and then there. And obviously the shininess part, is it does say it's got shine control, but it's not worked with me. That's not to say that it won't work for everyone, it's just unfortunate it hasn't worked completely for me. But would I use this foundation again? Most definitely would I use it, because it's a really nice foundation to wear. It's very lightweight. The consistency is a little on the thicker side, but it's still easy enough to go on the skin, and it blends out pretty well, to be fair. Would I use this before my L'Oreal True Match? Probably not. I'm still really loving my L'Oreal compared to this. What I will say that this has over the L'Oreal is, on occasion when I'm applying my foundation with L'Oreal, it sometimes just sits on the skin and I can't get it to go in. Even using my beauty blender, it doesn't seem to settle in. Whereas this one, first go, put it on with a brush, used a beauty blender, and it just settled into the skin really, really nice. And I love the fact that it's got all the good stuff in there, so your vitamin A, E, and your jojoba. I really like that, because it's going to keep your skin moisturised and hydrated while wearing it throughout the day. So it definitely gets a thumbs up from me. I would say probably between a 7 and an 8 out of 10. The reason I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 is simply because the shine control hasn't worked for me, and it definitely did oxidize, so it has went a little darker than what I would like. But other than that, I have absolutely no complaints with this foundation, and I certainly will be using it again. So that was in Ivory Flush, and it's the Skin Define Matte Perfect Foundation, and £3. So you can pick this up at Superdrug, or you can order it online. But guys, I would definitely say give it a go and see what you think yourself, because it's like every makeup product. What doesn't work for one person might work for the next. So you've just got to play around and find what suits you. So if you've liked this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do now, because that would help me out a whole ton. So until the next video, guys, you take care, and we shall see you soon. Love you. Bye.